All right, UFC 291, Poirier versus Gaethje 2. Can't wait for this card. MadLab, what's up?
What's going on?
We're going to dive right into the card, and then at the end of the card, we'll cover a little boxing. We'll cover the Inoue, what happened on Tuesday morning from Japan. Unbelievable. And then we'll cover the fight Saturday. Saturday night, UFC, boxing, Spence, Crawford, man. I mean, if you're a combat sports fan, this is it right here, man.
Sick.
I can't wait. So, Poirier, Gaethje 2, let's go. Dustin Poirier, man. What can you say about this guy, man? This guy, he's one of the best boxers in the UFC. And, you know, when he gets going, man, and he's in the third and he's in the fourth round and he's starting to just get that accuracy and get rolling, man, he's tough to stop. Gaethje has been coming on strong as of late. I mean, he really shocked us against Rafael Fiziev, right? I mean, we picked against him in that fight, and that was like an FU to everybody there. He was a dog for one of the first times besides against Khabib, right? Otherwise, Gaethje's usually in the favorite position, and he's gotten better, but Poirier's gotten better. These guys have had similar opponents, right? They both beat Michael Chandler. They both lost to Nurmagomedov. This is a UFC matchup for fight fans galore. This is what you want to see. I know it's going to be a war. Gaethje likes to drag guys into deep water. Poirier likes to drag guys into deep water. Which guy's going to survive? I think Poirier's going to just pour it on like he always does. I can't pick against him. I'm going to call fourth or fifth round knockout Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I like Poirier here too. I think it's a fight that we saw before, and I don't think much has changed, but I think Gaethje has been the one to make the improvements, you know, for sure, but it's 5 years later. The thing that Poirier does that's so good is it's just his boxing. The thing that he does bad is he does lean heavy on that lead leg, you know, because he's got the traditional boxing style, and Gaethje can absolutely expose that, like Jim Miller exposed that and almost finished him.
In the first fight, the same thing happened, though.
Yeah, Gaethje had him not dead to rights,
but
you
he had his leg in bad shape.
He was timbering a little bit.
Poirier weathered the storm.
When he weathers, that's what he does, and that's how Gaethje wins fights. Gaethje drags you into deep water. He sees if you could swim. And 9 out of 10 times you can't swim. Poirier can swim. The thing with Justin Gaethje, all the improvements that he's made, the one that he didn't improve on that falls right into Dustin Poirier's traps is the way he shells up, the way he puts his guard up. That looks like it's a good defensive guard, but he puts his head down, so he really can't see what's going on. He just kind of waits for the storm to end. Foreman used to do that. Foreman used to cover up like this, and then he ended up fighting Holyfield, and Holyfield was able to split his guard down the middle and connect him with uppercuts. The problem with this entire thing for Gaethje is that if you watch the first fight, if you watch how Dustin Poirier was splitting his guard, he hit him one time. I think it was 7, 8, 9 jabs in a row that weren't meant to do anything but just kind of knock on the door. Then when Gaethje peaks, that's when he landed the uppercut and the overhand right. I think it's going to be more the same. I don't think these guys are going to go to the ground. I think if anyone tries to take it to the ground, I honestly think it's going to be Poirier from the leg kicks, maybe getting a little relief.
Yeah.
But I do like Poirier here. I think it's going to be more of the same. I think it'll be a back-and-forth war. They'll both have their spots, but I think Poirier knocks him out 4th or 5th round.
I mean, look, this is for the BMF title, right? The baddest mother effer, right? Trying not to curse on the show anymore, which is a cool belt, right? But these guys, they want a shot at the real title, right? So you got Makhachev fighting Oliveira now in Abu Dhabi, right? And then you got to think the winner of Poirier-Gaethje probably will get the shot, right? Because Oliveira demolished Dariush. Gaethje beat Fiziev, who's an up-and-comer. I mean, who else is there in the division right now that deserves a title shot outside of these two guys?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to say the winner of this and who wins the BMF title is probably going to – I wonder then what, right? If a guy got the BMF title and he's fighting for the lightweight title – is there 2 titles up?
No, you can't say. Oh, you mean in their next fight?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say. Do you say like champ?
No, well, I'm saying like if let's say Poirier wins the BMF title,
I think,
and then Makhachev beats Oliveira, do they both fight for both titles?
I mean, I think it's more of a personal thing.
I know it is, but
still. I think you would have to at that point. If you lose, you got to give it up. Yeah,
you got it right.
Yeah. What
and
a
someone will have
fucking belt, dude.
The BMF.
It's such a stupid belt, though.
I mean,
it really is. That should have been dead and buried after.
Whose idea was that?
That was Dana White's idea.
It was Dana White's idea.
Dana White's idea. Remember, he came up. They made the bell, and I don't know. I think it's stupid.
And then The Rock came out. Remember?
Yeah, remember when Nathan Diaz was giving him shit, and he says, "I'll take him out too, though."
Though he is, I can't even listen to him no more, bro. We'll talk about him later. Nate Diaz. I can't even hear him talk.
He's a heavy dog in this fight, dude.
I think he's gonna get knocked out.
No.
You don't think so?
No, we'll talk about that when it's time.
Oh, boy, here we go. All right, co-headliner, we got Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. Pereira's a big guy, man. This isn't Jan against Izzy when Izzy moved up and barely made 200 pounds, right? This is Pereira walking around at 225, 230. He was big for the middleweight division as it is. When the line first came out, both me and MadLab were like, dude, how is Pereira a dog? How was he? Why?
I thought it was
so
a
close?
typo at first.
Yeah, and I think it was minus 110. It was a pick'em. Then he went to a dog status, and we were like, we're gonna go heavy, 3 units, 5 units. And then the more we thought about it, the more I thought about it too. And talking to MadLab, there's a real path here for Jan Blachowicz when it comes to the takedowns. Not that Blachowicz is a takedown machine, right? But that was the path against Izzy, and that's the path against. He's not going to outstrike Alex Pereira, one of the best strikers. But listen, it is what it is. Pereira, he was a kickboxer his whole life. He's only had 5 fights in the UFC, right? So what is his takedown defense? Not even his defense, but can he get Jan off him?
Yeah.
Right? Just like Izzy couldn't get Jan off him once he was on top of him. Can it be a boring fight? Can it be a 3-round fight where Jan just takes him to the ground and just sits on him, does a little bit of damage, and wins a decision? That can happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Pereira's going to catch him. He's the bigger. I think he's going to be the bigger guy, possibly walking in there. Mm-hmm. I think he wins by knockout, but it wouldn't surprise me to see one of those boring fights.
Slobber knockers.
Yes, yeah, man. I can see it now.
Both of them tentative.
So maybe after the first takedown, Pereira's tentative. Now he's worried about because he lost the first round. Like, I could see that kind of style fight happening. So I'm going to say Pereira by knockout, but, man, it wouldn't shock me now the more and more I read about it and think about it.
Do you realize how ridiculous we look right now?
Because we're both white with ATN on?
Look like we're going to a snow party. So, listen, I wasn't shocked at the line so much as far as how competitive this fight will be. I was shocked that you're talking about a guy who everybody slated, number one, to beat Izzy in the second fight. And then when he decided to go up to light heavyweight, everybody was saying how the new heavyweight king, and they were posting the memes about everybody being fearful and, everybody watch out on blast. And then the line comes out with Jan Blachowicz, and now nobody's going near it.
Isn't it weird?
It's public perception. We've been dealing with this. Like, I've been noticing this week after week that one person says something and everybody jumps onto it. So it's like,
has it moved?
No, it moved in Jan's favor. It's moved a little more in Jan's favor. So the way
who would have thought that?
Well, that's what I mean. The way public perception makes you think like this is the new. Oh my God, 205. Hill. Look at his face on a meme. This one.
Well, you know what? Now that you're saying that, bro, like even for me, right? Let's say the line was minus 180 or out of the gates for Pereira.
Then I'd see, let it move the opposite way. Then I'd say, okay, then I could see why. But for this to be an even fight, for all the people out there that were saying that Izzy didn't have a chance, and I know it was at 185, but he's a weapon, he's scary, and now he announces to go to 205. Oh my God, he's going to take over 205. Where is all the money from you guys? That all these people that said that this guy was going to be a machine. Where's all the money against a guy like Jan Blachowicz, who's 40 years old? That's all I'm saying. I'm not shocked by how competitive, because I think it's going to be a competitive fight. But here's what I'll say, is a lot of things that are baked into this fight are with Izzy losing to Blachowicz and Blachowicz being able to have his way with him on the ground. People don't understand that he weighed in at 200.5 pounds for that fight, which is 4.5 pounds under the limit.
Yep.
Which means when he stepped, and that's unheard of, which means when he stepped into the cage, he was probably 202 at max. So he didn't cut weight. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't rehydrate up anything. That's his natural size. Pereira walks around 235, 240. All right, so he has to cut a ton of weight to go to middleweight.
I watched somebody posted an Instagram reel in our Discord of him training.
Yeah.
He looked huge, bro.
Well, yeah, because now he doesn't have to cut that much weight, and he's strength training now. He couldn't strength train before because you put on muscle mass, it's going to be harder to make the cut.
Sure.
So now he's doing a lot of physical, the pop in the shots, his power's going to be there. You got to wonder, also if the weight cut hindered him at 185, made his legs go a little bit. So you really don't know. You don't know really what he's going to look like at 205. The fact of the matter is all these things do come into play when you can't bake what happened with Izzy to Alex Pereira, because Alex Pereira is a lot larger man than he is. Blachowicz, on the other hand, is another thing. People have this Polish power thing. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of, Polish power. I don't know who made this up. This
You've been hating ever since you heard
I don't know, and I love him, dude. How do you not love Jan Blachowicz?
Hey, good guy.
Whoever made this Polish power thing up, and everyone's buying into it, show me where he's got Polish power. Since 2014, he had a knockout 2014. Before that, when that happened, there was no Polish power. Now, all of a sudden, he's got this name Polish power, where since 2014, he's got a knockout against Luke Rockhold, who's knocked out 5 of 6 of losses, Corey Anderson, who's got knocked out 4 of 6 losses, and all right, Dominic Reyes. You can't count Alexander Rakic because it was an injury. So since 2014, he's got 3 knockouts. 2 of them were as chinny as dust. Where's his Polish power walking? He's only got 9 knockouts in 29 wins. What Polish power are we talking about? He's got more decisions than he has finishes from knockout and submission ratio. So I get it. I understand it, but I think people are buying into those 2 narratives too much. And as much as I don't think he's even a close to the technical fighter as Izzy is, I think size does mean something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm taking him here. I'm going to take him here by knockout. I love Jan. I think Jan is live. He's got that Polish grit about him. But at the end of the day, the guy does not go for takedowns all that much. You can bait him to stand with you. And I think Pereira can tag him enough to kind of keep him honest. So I think he's going to knock him out. I'm going to say Pereira knockout.
What if he ends it in like fucking a minute and a half into the first round?
Who?
Pereira.
He could. He can end with one shot. He can end the heavyweight with 1 shot.
Yeah.
It's just the way he generates power. So it's either going to be Jan by like a dragged out decision or submission, or it's going to be.
I don't want to see that.
Or it's going to be Pereira like under 1.5.
You know, if you're a UFC fan, you want to see Pereira win this fight, right? You want to see him win this fight. You want to see somebody go up in the light heavyweight, go through,
and be a threat.
Now Jamal Hill's hurt, but you got Yuri coming back sometime soon. You want to see?
You want to
see Pereira Yuri, or you want to see Jan Yuri?
Well,
again?
I would love to see. Well, no. Then you got Rakic coming back.
You know what I mean? Now it makes it a lot.
And they're all strikers.
Yeah, you don't want Jan hanging. You don't want him hanging around.
No, you don't.
You want Pereira in there, and it makes all the other matchups better. You know?
Yeah, like think about those matchups. Like if Pereira's the champ, then you got Rakic coming back. Jamal Hill would get dusted by all 3 of them.
You got Yuri coming back.
Like they're all strikers.
Hey, listen, not for nothing. Your boy Anthony Smith's gonna get starched by all those guys too. I think he's done. It's over for him.
He needs to take his false teeth.
That last fight, oh my God, that was bad.
He needs to take his false teeth and go home.
After Rakic knocked him out. All right, next fight on the card. We got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Michel Pereira. Okay, good matchup here, right? So, Michel Pereira, you got to give him credit. He cleaned up his act, right? Maybe he was doing all that stuff like he was right out of Bloodsport, flips and backward and wasting all his energy and just doing things that weren't effective but made him just look fancy. He stopped doing that a lot. He's not doing all that dumb shit no more. He's actually fighting smart. He put together a bunch of good wins. Ever since he beat Chaos, he actually won 5 fights in a row.
Well, he got humbled by Tristan Connolly. Remember, he was the biggest favorite on the card.
That's right. And then he ripped off 5 in a row. Chaos, Nico Price, Fiallo, Ponzinibbio. Those aren't the most amazing wins.
Well,
okay?
Pons
was a close fight, though, too, man. Even the Chaos Williams fight was a close fight. Remember how close that was? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he got 5. Fiallo had fought. I think he just came off a quick turnaround, too. So, you know, as much as he looked good, he also gasses. Pereira's always looks bad.
Well,
in the third
he's
round.
been trained. He went to Utah and he apparently did a run with the Army.
Well, he should, because every third round he don't look good.
I know, but he did a run, and they were all on it. They were like, "I got to tell you, he left us in the dust." I was like, "Well, that doesn't say much for the Army, then."
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Now you got Wonder Boy. I know he's older. I know he's 37, 38, maybe even 39. I don't know, but the guy's the volume king. He just beat Kevin Holland. Lost to Muhammad. Got taken down over and over. Lost to Burns. Got taken down over and over. He nearly beat Luque, right? So this is a bad matchup for Pereira, right? Wonder Boy don't gas. Wonder Boy doesn't tend to lose against guys who are strikers. He loses to guys take him to the ground. I think this is an easy pick here for Wonder Boy to win a decision. It's probably going to be 30-27.
I wouldn't say easy pick, dude. Because Pereira is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He can grapple.
I don't see him grappling too much.
No, I know, but he hasn't really. But what does all the people that he beat have in common?
Who, Pereira?
Yeah.
They're all strikers.
None of them are Wonder Boy.
None are.
That's what I mean. None of them are Wonder Boy. When you guys look at this, the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, since he was 9 years old or 8 years old, he was born and raised in a point fighting mind frame.
Very awkward. It's tough to hit.
He's all about point fighting. That's what he is. I mean, that's his style. He was born and raised in point fighting. You're not going to outpoint Stephen Thompson. It's very difficult to outpoint a guy who was groomed to be a point fighter. He knows range. He knows distance. He knows how to maintain that space. The problem with Stephen Wonderboy Points is sometimes, let's be honest, though, lately, this guy will jump into these firefights.
Yeah.
Right? He'll jump into a firefight and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, back up. And he will. He'll engage with you, almost like he wants to big brother you because he's the 40-year-old and, he's the veteran. Michel Prieto, the thing with his style is that he's a master at capoeira, which is a martial art, but it's geared towards dance and music. So everything's rhythmic. Stephen Thompson is a guy who takes your rhythm away. He doesn't allow you to really do anything dynamic around him because he's got such a solid standard orthodox stance. Where Pereira wins this fight is if he decides to take this fight to the floor. Stephen Thompson has no answers off his back.
If he's smart, that's what he'll do. I'm going to tail back what I said. I'm not going to say easy decision.
It's a very difficult.
Pereira's a very skilled guy.
Yeah.
I just feel like he never puts it all together.
Well, ever since the Tristan Connolly fight, he's kind of, he got humbled. He was like a minus. I don't even remember what it was. He was the biggest favorite on the card.
But I still feel like he doesn't meet his skill level. I feel like he always fights below what he's actually capable of.
Exactly, he does. He does because it's almost like his whole style is predicated on dynamo. Like he's got to show that crazy movement and stuff like that, and he's got to tail that back in the UFC because that's not going to work with everybody. No. So you're taking away a weapon when you do that. So yeah, he's not fighting up to his level. He is muscled up and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't. If he wins this fight, I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has to start considering, all right, look, I'm not going to make a run. Like, this is Wonderboy Thompson's time to make a run. He's not a normal 40-year-old, bro. The guy still looks like he's 30 years old.
And he trains crazy cardio.
But even his face, the guy does not look 40.
He looks great.
He looks, he's got a different genetic.
Nicest guy, too, in the whole
super
UFC.
Nice guy. I'm going Wonderboy. I think Wonderboy wins this fight. I think he outpoints him. I think he either stops him in the third round. I really do.
I think he's going to stop him.
I think he stops him in the third round or he wins a decision. I say third round of decision, Wonderboy.
I like it. All right. Fourth fight on the card. Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green. I told MadLab.
Max unit bet Tony Ferguson.
After the last fight, I said, bro, if you ever try to bet or pick Tony Ferguson again, it's over. We're not doing this no more. I had enough of this guy.
He's going to... Imagine he wins, dude.
He's not winning.
But imagine he does.
He's done. He can't beat anybody no
more. There's a part of everybody, if you're a Tony Ferguson fan, you don't want him to win this fight. Because if he wins this fight, he's going to continue to think he's got that crazy mindset where he still thinks he could be a champion. So there's a part of me that wants him to win because I'm a diehard Ferguson fan. I just want him to maybe get that win and hope maybe he rides off into the sunset with a great win. But there's a part of me that doesn't want him to win because if he freaking wins, this guy's going to all of a sudden start talking title shots.
Let me ask you a question, right? So I know he lost to look, Gaethje, Oliveira, Darius.
Let's back up. He almost knocked out Gaethje in that fight.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember him catching him with that uppercut in the first round?
I don't remember that.
He caught him with such and Gaethje started stumbling back at the end of the first round.
Okay, so let's say it was before. All right, let's say, these 4 losses in a row. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's say before that, right? If it was Ferguson, Nate Diaz before he went to these fights, who would you have picked?
Wait, say this again? Oh, this fight?
No, I'm saying
if they were to fight.
If Ferguson were to fight for Nate Diaz, 6 fights ago, before the run of losses.
Yeah, I'd take Ferguson.
Without no question, right? Now, when I asked you before, I go, he lost to Diaz. You go, you were like, almost like, well, you don't think Diaz. No, Ferguson.
Yeah, but Diaz is a dog, dude. You know what I mean? Come on. You're saying he's not good, Diaz?
No.
You don't think he's good?
I can't stand him.
You don't think, who are you talking about, Nick or Nate?
Nate.
You don't think he's good at all?
Bro, who was he really be?
It doesn't matter. He's still a dog, dude. Like, he's still good.
Come on, bro. He got destroyed against Masvidal.
Masvidal's not terrible, dude.
Not terrible. Ferguson's done, bro. Yeah, Bobby Green wins here. I don't think he knocks him out. I don't think Bobby Green's is that good either, but he's a tough guy to hit. He's very awkward. You know, the way he fights with the Philly shell. You know what I mean? I think he starts putting it on him in the second round. Maybe not a knockout, but I think he just starts putting it on him, and Ferguson doesn't have an answer. I don't see Ferguson winning a fight ever again in the UFC. Yeah, I just don't. I cannot pick him. I'm going to say Green by decision. That's it.
When you say Ferguson, bro, and we were
I know he was one of the best at one time, won 14 in a row. They were trying to make Ferguson. I know, but I don't know what happened.
But when you talk about a fall from grace.
Oh, my God.
Like, at one time, nobody wanted to fight him.
And one time, he was like pound for pound right up there.
They called him the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Right?
Now everybody wants to fight him.
Yeah, the only fall from grace, recent, not really, yeah, it's kind of recent, I guess, is the last time I saw one, people were saying BJ Penn and stuff like that, but that's like such a common name to say, BJ Penn. A name that this reminds me of a little bit is Renan Barão. You remember Renan Barão?
Yep.
Renan Barão won 31 fights straight. He lost his debut. He lost his first professional fight. He won 31 straight, and then he fought T.J. Dillashaw, and T.J. knocked him out, and he was never the same again.
Yeah, I know the whole story.
Never the same again.
I watched the documentary on YouTube about that.
He lost like 7 of 9 after that, or some shit like that. So. But that was a mental thing with him. That was the confidence thing with him. This is different. This is like a wiring issue with him. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's the damage or what. But I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm going to pick Bobby Green. I'm going to pick Bobby Green. But Tony Ferguson's going to have one spot in this fight where he puts him in trouble. And if he capitalizes on it, great. And if he doesn't, he loses. But there will, mark my words, there will be one spot in this fight where he either rocks Bobby Green or he hooks something. I'm telling you right now, dude.
You think maybe he catches him with one of those elbows?
Something crazy. Like one of his dynamic moves.
Like a spinning back
something
elbow
where he
or
puts
something.
Bobby Green in trouble and Bobby Green maybe, gets out of it or maybe hooks up some kind of a darce or something on him because he does have nasty submissions or rolls for a knee bar and hooks him up with a knee bar. Something stupid's going to happen where Ferguson's going to look good for the first round.
I mean, I will say this: Green hasn't looked that good.
I'm going to say Ferguson wins round 1.
Don't you dare put a wager on it.
No, I don't even think you can. But but if there was a wager that I could do, I would say Tony Ferguson is going to end up like when he goes back to the corner, people are going, "Oh, look, he looks pretty good," and then it's going to fall apart.
All right, I like it.
Bobby Green,
as long as you're not picking him to win.
Bobby Green by decision, but I think he goes the whole way.
All right, last fight on the main card: Michael Chiesa, Kevin Holland. Okay. Difficult fight. Chiesa hasn't fought in a while. I don't even like the guy. He always just bothered me. I don't know why.
That mullet.
Yeah, I just
don't talk about my mom.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah. And I don't even like him as an announcer that much either.
He's okay.
He's okay. And then you got Kevin Holland, right? Kevin Holland, dynamic striker on the feet. He's Achilles' heel. When he fights guys that could grapple and takes him down, he can't get up. He got destroyed against Brunson like that. I think it was Vittori. I mean, it's happened over and over again. I mean, you look at his fights right here, right? He loses to Chimaev, gets destroyed. Now, Thompson did beat him on the feet, but that's Wonder Boy Thompson. Fine, right? Comes back and beats Ponzinibbio. I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to say that Kevin Holland still has the same issues when it comes to guys. I think Chiesa obviously knows this about – everybody knows this about Holland. I think Chiesa gets this to the ground, and I think it's a boring fight, like an old-school Kevin Holland when he can't get up, like a fish out of water on the ground. I think he's going to lose a decision to Chiesa. I'm taking a dog here. I am.
But you realize Chiesa's biggest Achilles heel on the ground is he gets submitted.
I know it happened with Luque. Yeah. He got caught. I know that. I don't see Holland doing it to him.
But I think Holland's gonna do what he couldn't finish with Brunson. You know what I'm saying?
That was a frustrating fight, man. I remember that fight.
Every time he got to his feet, he rocked him with something.
Yeah, he almost finished him and then back down again.
So I think that's what's going to happen here, but I think Holland's going to finish the job because I don't think that Chiesa doesn't have the size of Brunson to kind of just bully and charge him down. He's got to do things more tactically, and he is fucking horrible on the feet, dude.
Horrible.
He's horrible.
I know.
So I think Holland's either going to knock him out, or I think Holland's going to end up subbing him on his.
If Chiesa loses this fight, this has got to be a wrap for him.
Well, he hasn't fought. I mean, he knows he's got a career outside of this, with the UFC. So I don't know. I think it could be like you said, like it could be like what he did with Neil Magny when he just took him down and held him there. But I don't think so. I think Holland is going to end up winning this one. So
That's exactly what I was thinking. That Neil Magny fight when they were away in Abu Dhabi, their first Abu Dhabi.
I don't think it's going to go down like that.
I mean,
it could, but Holland's got them long limbs, bro.
I like Holland. I actually want Holland to win the fight. I like him. I think he's a great striker. I think he's good to watch. He's fun to watch. I don't know. I got this feeling that listen, we're looking for dogs here. I think this is one right here. I think he's one of the livest dogs on the card.
Speaking of dogs, Christine's dog pick of the week. Guys, what's going on? Mike from the MadLabmma.com, bringing you full breakdowns on boxing, MMA, and everything else we can actually talk about. Do me a favor. It's free. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Comment on the videos, and like them. It's easy. I mean, it's easy. I mean, I'm not asking you for a dime. For Christ's sake.
Hey, man, we didn't talk about that. We got the Makhachev Oliveira and that Chimaev Costa fight.
I know.
What do you think about that?
I think Chimaev's going to run through him. It's just a style.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question.
He's going to smother him to the point where he's like.
Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about that. But
I don't say he doesn't have a chin because he went toe to toe with Gilbert Burns.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying Costa got a chin, right? And I'm saying that Chimaev, right, against Burns, right? They were on the feet, man. They were trading blows, and he was getting hit a lot. Sure, if he's smart, he's going to take it to... What about if he wants to play that tough guy thing?
Costa knocks him out.
Dude, Costa can
If he
hit.
stays on the feet with Costa's going to knock him out.
It all depends on,
But that's his style. His style is to grapple.
But a lot of the factors here that no one thinks about is Costa going to be drinking that week? Is he going to be doing the secret juice thing? Is he going to be actually prepared the right way for the fight? Like,
I don't even think I'd go near that fight.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I wonder what the line's going to open up at there.
I don't know, but let's go to more important things.
Inoue?
No, we talked about Inoue already.
We didn't.
Oh, we didn't. That's right. He's best pound for pound in boxing right now.
If you guys didn't watch it, it was on Tuesday morning, ESPN, 5 a.m. That I forgot, and I saw Lab tweeting 2-0 Inoue. I'm like, whoa! And I turned it on. I'm up at 4 in the morning anyway, and I watched the whole fight on my laptop downstairs, and I was glad I got to see this guy fight. It's been a while. But, man, what a superior striker, technician, and boxer and power. I mean,
people don't – you know what the crazy thing is? Like, people are going to watch Crawford and Spence. And because and it's just overshadowed. Why they did this fight on Tuesday morning, the week of Spence and Crawford, was beyond me. Because it's not about it wasn't a good fight. It was a domination.
Yeah.
But it's the point that you had an opportunity to
get the eyeballs on him,
this
right?
kid on ESPN. Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, this kid is special. Like, I've been telling everybody, I've been telling him, too. My favorite fighter right now is Inoue. By far, my favorite fighter. He's 122. He got speed. He's got power. When you talk about pound for pound, you guys are crazy, the people who are saying that he's not. He's got more championships in 13 months than Spence and Crawford have combined in 5 years, dude.
Yeah,
and he doesn't avoid anybody.
Yep.
He just continues to go up, and when he goes up in weight, he wants to fight the champion. He doesn't even take a tune-up fight, dude.
Yep.
He just goes up. He beat a guy, dude, at one point in time, he had 6 wins in a row that were 6 knockouts, and every one of those guys have never been knocked out before.
Never been knocked out, yeah. Sick.
And he's never been knocked out before.
It was a great performance. Now, Saturday, we got not only UFC 291, but we got Spence Crawford, long-anticipated fight.
If you had to watch one fight, you couldn't watch both of them. They said, all right, listen, you're either going to watch 291 or you're going to watch Spence Crawford. What do you pick? Honestly, don't lie. I know my answer, like right now. I would fucking watch Spence and Crawford.
Yeah, I think I would have to because you don't get to see.
It's a fight of a century, dude.
It's great fight.
Who
great
do you think?
Fight.
And why and how? I know who you're picking already. I know it already.
I don't want to pick Crawford. I don't. I want to pick Spence, but man, I just think there's something about Crawford, just the way he fights, and he's just so smart in there. I can't pick yet. I have.
Yeah, it's in 3 days.
I need a little more time.
So I'm not. Listen, this is a fight you guys should stay clear from a wagering standpoint. If anyone ever tells you that like they can actually pick who's going to win, they're wrong.
It's such a tough one, man.
Crawford is such a talent, and he's the most. And this is a bold statement for me. He's one of the most cerebral fighters I've ever seen. Like he just knows where the pockets are. He knows how to get in and out. He knows what you're thinking. He plays that chess match, but. Spence is, he's a big kid, bro.
Yeah.
He's a big kid.
And he's fast.
And he's fast. And he's strong. And he's cerebral. And he can box. Like, this is going to... The only thing I'm praying for is that this isn't like a chess match. I'm hoping that these guys come out and fight the way they usually fight. You got Spence coming in, throwing a lot of volume, digging to the body. You got Crawford changing angles, switching you to the rope.
Spence does...
I'm just hoping they're not, like, standing in the middle in the ring and just, like, tip.
Dude, Spence sometimes gets wild in there, too, and leaves...
Where was I?
The Ugas fight.
Oh, so in the Ugas fight, bro, the only reason why he got rocked in that fight, when the mouthpiece went flying, bro, if you look, he looked down because he thought he lost his false teeth. He had temporary teeth in. So he didn't know it was his mouthpiece. He thought it was his actual teeth that fell out into the ring. So when he looked down, yeah, he lost his balance. He went back. But as soon as he put his tongue in his mouth and realized that all his teeth were there, he smiled and ended up coming back, and they stopped the fight. He ended up putting up. So both of these guys are just barbaric, bro. Like, these guys both have been rocked in their career. Bro, how good is Sean Porter, dude?
He's great.
Think about it, bro.
I'm a big fan.
He gave them both.
Yeah.
Like
a tough fight.
Tough fights.
Yeah, tough fights.
And some would say that he was possibly winning some. He was winning some of those rounds against Spence.
Yeah, he was.
You know, but Spence is. I don't know, man. Both of these guys. I'm going with Spence. I'm going with Spence. I'm going to say Spence wins.
I'm a bigger fan of Spence than I am.
I'll make a really bold statement. Really bold. I'll say Spence ends up knocking him out late. That's bold.
Wow.
That's bold. I'm going to say he knocks him out after the 10th round.
I don't know about that, bro.
I'm going to say I'm going to say it's going to come off a body shot.
My house Saturday night. Let's go. All right, listen, make sure you go below. Use the link. We're doing a special right now. Well,
how's it going to finish? I say Spence by knockout. What do you say?
I don't think it's going to be a knockout.
You going to say Crawford by decision?
I don't know who.
What a lame fucking answer. Go on a line. I'm going on a limb here.
You know what? Because I want to root for Spence, I'm going to say Spence by decision.
No, you can't say that.
I don't want to root for Crawford. I don't.
Yeah, but don't go.
He's not a likable guy.
Who's going to win? Yes, bro, they're both super likable.
I don't like.
Who's going to win, though?
Bud.
Who's going to win?
Spence by decision.
All right, Spence by knockout.
All right, listen, hey, click on the link below. We have a weekly pass now where you can sign up for the week and you can cancel anytime. $14.99. Jump in. We're going to be loaded up with wagers and DFS and
We're doing a giveaway contest, too.
Merch contest giveaway. Come in the Discord. Bunch of MMA fans all watching the fights together. Mike will be at my
We're going to
house.
do voice chat.
Doing voice chat?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I can't wait to fucking scream and yell all night. Let's go.